Welcome to Fenway Park. It's a beautiful afternoon in Boston, and it's Game 3 of the 4-game series between the Toronto Blue Jays and the Boston Red Sox. Hi again, everybody. I'm Don Orsillo, as always, joined by Jerry Remy. Welcome to Red Sox baseball. Well, the Red Sox have been winners of their last 4 straight and playing great baseball. Still the best record in the American League, and they've been scoring early and often.
Well, that's one thing that's really helped with this streak, Don, the fact that they are putting up a lot of runs early in the ball game, and especially in the first 3 innings of a game. You see the numbers right here. 33 runs over the last 10 games, scored in 9 of the last 10 games, and the highest scoring innings this season. The first inning, 63 runs for the Red Sox, 61 in the second, and 59 in the third. And the 2 guys that are really doing a lot of damage, Dustin Pedroia with a 402 average and 28 RBIs, and Ortiz right behind him with a 388 average in those first 3 innings. So that's a huge help to a ball club, and a pitcher in particular. When you can sit in that dugout and watch a team put early runs on the board, it certainly helps you relax a little bit.
They're hoping for the same thing today as they try to quiet these bats of the Toronto Blue Jays. And on the mound for the Red Sox is Felix Gibran. He's 4-3 with a 4.33 ERA. We're back with the first pitch from Fenway right after this. Powered by Dunkin' Donuts, your New England Buick and GMC dealers, Infinity of New England, Salem 5 Bank and Pedroia's World, your New England Hyundai dealers, by Kia, and by Southwest Airlines. We welcome you back to a beautiful day in Boston as the Red Sox and Toronto Blue Jays get ready for the third of 4 games in this series. And a beautiful day here today from high atop Fenway Park and in the Back Bay of Boston as the Red Sox take the field here today. And the Red Sox have 4 wins in a row coming into today's action. Well, the Blue Jays lineup is brought to you by Jordan Furniture on this Junior Announcer Day from Fenway.
Thanks, Mr. Arcillo. Hi, I'm Juliana from Sharon. Leading off for the Blue Jays, the shortstop, Jose Reyes. The right fielder, Jose Bautista. The DH, Edwin Encarnacion. At first base, Adam Lind. The third baseman, Mark DeRosa. In left field, Rajay Davis. The center fielder, Colby Rasmus. The catcher, JP Arancibia. And batting ninth, the second baseman, Meiser Izturis.
Nice job, Juliana. On the mound for the Red Sox today is Felix Dubron. His numbers are brought to you by Verizon Fios. His 15th appearance, 14th start, 4-3 with a 4.33 earned run average, 76 strikeouts to 36 walks. Opponents hitting at .269 against him as Felix has pitched very well lately. His last time out, a no decision against the Tigers. 5 innings, giving up 3 runs, and 2 of those runs were earned. He did walk 4 and strike out 2.
The Red Sox defense is brought to you on Nesson by Southwest Airlines. They are 9th in the American League with 43 errors on the season. Jonathan Diaz will be at third base. Jose Iglesias, the shortstop. Dustin Pedroia at second, and Mike Napoli, the first baseman. Left to right, Daniel Nava, Jacoby Ellsbury, and Shane Victorino. And Jared Saltalamacchia doing the catching for Felix Dubron.
Well, the umpiring crew here today, Dan Bellino has the play calling the balls and strikes with the crew chief Tim Welke at first base. Mike Everett is the umpire at second, and Bruce Streckman the umpire at third. Where available, this game can be heard in Spanish by pressing the SAP button on your television remote. Enjoy the game.
Buenas tardes, amigos.
A beautiful day here at Fenway. Lots of sunshine, lots of blue skies, 82 degrees. Breeze out to center at 16 miles per hour. Chance of scattered thunderstorms here as the day goes on. But right now, beautiful as the breeze is headed out to left center field at the moment. And Felix Dubron throwing his final warm-up tosses. It's been quite a run for the Red Sox, and they're doing it against very good baseball teams.
Well, they are. You know, Toronto was very, very warm coming into this series against Boston and making a push. They were 6.5 games back of the Red Sox, and the Red Sox have been fortunate enough to get the first 2 wins of this series, and that's been very big. Red Sox doing a good job jumping out in front in ball games and making the Blue Jays chase them.
Well, aerial coverage today provided by DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you got to get DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV. And we'll have some great shots of what is a beautiful day here at Fenway. Traffic's not bad either out there, Jerry. It looks pretty good right now, very manageable.
Everybody's at the ballpark.
Jose Reyes about to lead it off here for the Blue Jays. Reyes, Bautista, and Encarnacion to bat here in the first inning against Dubron. Second start against the Blue Jays this year for Dubron. 6th in his career. And winless against the Jays here at Fenway Park. A 6.75 ERA against the Jays here at Fenway. But in his career, he is 2-2. First pitch of the ball game is going to miss for ball 1, and we are underway. Reyes at .327 with a home run, 6 runs batted in. A swing and a miss. Fastball, 91 miles an hour.
Reyes has had good success against Dubron. He's 6 for 9 against Dubron with a home run. Swing and a miss at a fastball that time.
Chopped to third, the major league debut for Diaz. His throw to first and plenty of time to get Reyes. 8 seasons in the minors for Jonathan Diaz. Here he is in the majors and tested for the first time. 1 down.
And we talked a little bit about him in the pregame show. A guy that we saw a lot of in spring training. A guy that John Farrell is familiar with because he was in the Toronto organization. Being called up today, of course, Stephen Drew with the hamstring problem. Moving Iglesias to shortstop, and Diaz getting his major league debut.
1 down for Jose Bautista. get the feeling he is due. It's a 245, 16 homers, and 45 runs batted in. 1 for 4 in the ball game last night as he takes ball 1 high. Walking a lot, leads the club with 42 base on balls. June has not been great for him. Well, it has been for the Blue Jays, not for Bautista. Sitting at 182 in the month. The pitch is outside, 3-0. It's left-handed pitching, hitting at just 182 on the season. That's ball 4, 4-pitch walk, and Bautista down to first with another walk for Bautista. Let's check in with Jenny Dell.
Well, Don, we're right past the halfway point of the season. The Red Sox are in first, the Blue Jays are in last, and the AL East is more competitive than ever. So for our AT&T Twitter question of the day, we'd like to ask the fans at home, what's been the biggest surprise in the AL East so far this season? Send us your tweets using the hashtag AL East. We'll reveal the best ones later in the game.
All right, Jenny, thank you very much. Hashtag AL East. And the standings a little bit, I think, in some regards, a lot of people did not expect them the way they are currently, is taken off. The first pitch by Bautista, no throw, and he steals second base.
He got a very good percentage. He's a perfect 6 for 6 in stolen bases. And as soon as Dubron picked up that right leg, he was off and going, had a walking lead towards second base, and no chance to even make a throw for Saltalamacchia.
So Bautista in scoring position with 1 down. Edwin Encarnacion the batter. He took a first pitch ball. Leading the team in home runs and in RBIs. 23 homers and 66 runs batted in. Outside for ball 2. Home runs in 9 of his last 24 games. A lot of Blue Jays fans here again at the ballpark today. That's in there for a strike, though. Let's Go Blue Jays chant can be heard here at Fenway.
They must have had a group of a bunch come down from Toronto for this weekend series against the Red Sox.
There's a sea of blue outside on Yawkey Way as they have made their way here to the ballpark. This is back to Dubron. They have got hung up Jose Bautista, run right at him. Now Pedroia back the other way. They're trying to get the other runner into scoring position, and they will. Diaz applies the tag on Bautista. And Bautista and Encarnacion switch spots at second base, 2 down.
A good heads-up play by Felix Dubron. He makes the play on the ball back to him, and he checks that runner at second base, and you can see Bautista well off the bag. Dubron does what he's supposed to do, run directly at him, get him caught in the rundown. Unfortunately, it took a little bit long, and that allowed Encarnacion to get in the scoring position at second base.
So 2 down here in the first inning. Encarnacion at second base for Adam Lind. A very good season. .321 average, 11 homers, 32 runs batted in. Lind will take a pitch down and in. He's 9th on the Blue Jays all-time home run list with 128. 3 shy of Ernie Witt at 131 for 8th on the Jays all-time list. He's up top that time, the high fastball, and it's 1-1.
Adam Lind, a very good low ball hitter that time, the top of the strike zone for Felix Dubron, and gets the swing and miss.
Sprayed foul off to the left, and it's still 1-2. Well, the AL East very close together, but the standings are brought to you by Buick. See the entire luxurious lineup at Buick.com. It's just 6.5 games between the last place team and the first place team when the Blue Jays a ride, but the Red Sox win the first 2 games of the series, and now the Jays are 8.5 back. Orioles and Yankees will play again today. 1-2 pitch. Lind hits it on the ground through the left side into left field, a base hit. Encarnacion's coming in to score, and the Blue Jays with a 2-out RBI take a 1-0 advantage in this one.
Good job there by Adam Lind. Lefty against lefty, gets down a couple of strikes, just trying to make contact, and finds that hole between third and shortstop. You could see the runner taking off, and that drew Diaz toward third base. He did not hold his position as the runner was going, and that created a hole between third and short, and that's exactly where the baseball goes.
So run in, runner at first, and here's Mark DeRosa who takes strike 1. DeRosa hitting at .216, 4 homers and 21 runs batted in. Veteran who is at third base today for the Blue Jays. Messer is Turris, plays at second base, and Bonifacio gets a day off, at least to begin the game for Toronto. DeRosa hitting much better on the road than he does at the Rogers Center in Toronto. 146 is home batting average on the road. It's at .277. He's the DH in game 1 of the series, and today starts at third base. Check at first, and Lynn back to the bag.
Once again, Napoli playing off the bag about a step and a half. We explained that earlier in the season, why he does that, to increase his range to his right. The only pitcher on the Red Sox starting rotation that he goes directly to the bag is Clay Buchholz, because Buchholz throws to first base a lot.
Swing and a miss, and Dubrock picks up his first K of the day. Ends the top of the first. Blue Jays get a run. Red Sox coming up from Fenway. Last half of the first inning, Blue Jays get a run in the top of the first. The Red Sox lineup is brought to you by New England Chevy dealers on this Junior Announcer Day.
Orsillo. Hi, I'm Ethan from Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Leading off on the Red Sox, the center fielder, Jacoby Ellsbury. In right field, Shane Victorino. Second baseman, Dustin Pedroia. The DH, David Ortiz. At first base, Mike Napoli. In left field, Daniel Nava. The catcher, Jared Saltamacchia. The shortstop, Jose Iglesias. And batting ninth, the third baseman, Jonathan Diaz.
Nice job, Ethan, as Jacoby Ellsbury stands in and takes ball one. Ismael Rogers on the mound for the Blue Jays today. His numbers brought to you by your New England Nissan dealers. 29th appearance, only his 6th to start. Opponent sitting at 254 against him. And this is out to Jose Reyes on a high hop. Fires to first for out number one.
The Blue Jay defense is brought to you on NESN by New England Honda dealers. They're 11th in the league with 48 errors on the season. Mark DeRosa at third base. Jose Reyes, the shortstop. Mysurus Torres at second. And Adam Lynn, the first baseman. Left to right, Rajay Davis, Colby Rasmussen, Jose Batista, and J.P. Arancibia doing the catching for Rogers.
One down for Shane Victorino. There's strike one to Victorino. Shane didn't like it. He'll spin out of the box and take a little walk. Or a long walk. He thought it was down. Dan Bellino, the home plate umpire today. And that was definitely down. 1-1.
Now Rogers making his first career start against the Red Sox. He has faced them 5 times out of the bullpen.
Last start pitch into the 7th inning. 8-3 win June 18th against Colorado. Took a no-hitter into the 6th inning. And as the pitch fouled off here at the dish. 1-2. In his last 10 outings, he has a 1.98 earned run average. 27 career starts in the majors, 8-9 his record. Pop-up sent foul and out of play. Originally signed by the Colorado Rockies in July of 2003. He's traded to the Cleveland Indians in exchange for cash considerations, and then was acquired by the Blue Jays in a deal that involved Mike Aviles going to Cleveland. Of course, now Mike Aviles went from the Red Sox to Toronto in compensation for John Farrell. Coming to Boston. He's on the ground, picked by Lind. He'll flip to Rogers for out number 2.
Adam Lynn's been a very solid first baseman this year for the Blue Jays. Only 2 errors on the season at first base. Made that play look easy as he gave a nice feed to Rogers covering first base.
Then 2 down for Dustin Pedroia. So it's a .323 batting average, 5 homers and 47 runs batted in. Dustin's had a good series, 4 for 8 so far in the series with a triple, a home run, and a couple of RBIs. Didn't go, says Tim Wilkie, first base umpire. And Pedroia tied for first in the majors in games played. He's played 81 of the first 82 games of the year. And a swing and a miss, badly fooled on that pitch. 1-2.
A good breaking ball that time from Rogers. Big curveball that had Pedroia fooled, which you don't see very often. The heart was there, but the backside was not.
This one rifled foul, back to the fastball, and Rogers operating at 95 miles an hour right now. 5-gamer coming in for Dustin. second in the American League in home batting average. He hits at .374 here at Fenway Park. Sun going in and out of the clouds right now above Fenway. Two-two pitch. And a pop-up foul back and out of play. Multi-hits in 5 of the last 7 games for Dustin. Hitting at .467 over the last 7 games. And his defense has been terrific. And his only error of the year in the 70th game of the year. Slider again in the dirt, and he gets Pedroia to chase it, to strike out. A couple of tough swings, both on sliders in that sequence. A 1-2-3 first and a 1-0 Blue Jays lead after 1. Davis, Rasmus, and Aaron Sebia, 6, 7, and 8 in the Toronto order. Going to the count. Rajai Davis sitting at .311. New part of his game right now is the average. One of the problems for him with all that speed was getting on base over the years, and he's getting on this season and showcasing that terrific speed that he has. .25th pitch, and it is fouled off. Protecting the plate that time again was Rajai Davis.
And Rajai Davis getting starts in all 3 games so far in this series against the Red Sox. 4-game series that wraps up tomorrow afternoon.
Wraps up the road trip for Toronto as well. Blue Jays started this trip in Tampa Bay and will head home after the ball game tomorrow. In the air to left center field. On the move is Nava, but nobody will be able to get to that. It's off the base of the wall. Davis into second base standing with a double to begin things in the second inning.
Well, I mentioned it last night, Rajai Davis always seems to do something big against the Red Sox. There he gets the cut fastball, it looks like, from Dubron, and plants it off that left field wall. Now, his average against Boston is not all that high, only around 250 something, but it always seems like he's on base and stealing bases, doing things to disrupt the defense of the Red Sox.
Well, this season against the Red Sox, he's hit at .375 against Boston. 9 for 24 in the season series. Here's Kobe Rasmus. Fouls it straight back. One of our key matchup brought to you by Honda. Kobe Rasmus against Dubron, 5 for 13. A couple of triples and a home run. Shadows starting to make their way towards the home plate area as we play late day baseball here at Fenway Park. Well, among center fielders in the American League, tied for first is Rasmus with his 14 home runs. He is second in RBIs with 37. And so far in the series, 0 for 4. Davis doing some dancing out there at second base and takes off for third. Pitches a strike and no throw to third base. No chance.
Yeah, Felix never looked back. He was dancing around out there like he wanted to go, and I think he was stunned that Dubron did not at least step off. You see Dubron not looking at him right now, and he continues to dance, and off he goes, and not even a throw from Saltalamacchia. Sometimes you got to mix up your looks back there. Take one look, maybe two looks at times. Anything to disrupt the base steal.
Two and two to Rasmus. Dubron giving up a run, throwing 20 pitches in the first inning. A double and a stolen base has Rajai Davis at third base with nobody out. In there for strike three. Second strikeout for Dubron of the day. He needed that.
A second strikeout for Dubron. Second strikeout on a changeup. Got DeRosa on a changeup. Now gets Rasmus on a changeup on the outside corner. The pitch zone on NESN is brought to you by Amica. Amica Insurance. Great service, great coverage, and a great price for auto, home, or life insurance.
And one down, a .220 average for the Blue Jays catcher. 15 homers and 36 runs batted in. Aaron Sebia 0 for his last 11 as he takes strike one.
Might notice the Red Sox now have brought the infield in with one out. With nobody out, they were deep because they're trying to prevent the big inning. Once they get the one out, that's more unlikely to happen, so they bring the infield in.
Owens by him on the fastball, 0-2.
And because of the speed of Rajai Davis, they are way in, especially at second and short. Fastball by Aaron Sebia.
Swing and a miss, elevated the fastball and strikes out Aaron Sebia. He needed something that didn't include contact, and he's done it back-to-back. Rasmus than Aaron Sebia.
He's a guy that you like to have up in those situations. I mean, he's always dangerous with the home run, but he does strike out a lot. 86 times so far this season, and that time Dubron elevated the fastball to pick up the strikeout.
Two down here in the second inning. Rajai Davis still 90 feet away, and here is the number 9 man. And second baseman today, Myceres Turris. And he'll take strike one. As Turris 4 for his last 9. Over the last 15 games, hitting at .328. It was the last inning. The Blue Jays were able to get their first run of the game with a 2-out base hit by Adam Lind. Now they're calling upon Myceres Turris to do the same here in the second inning. And it's grounded up the middle, ranging as Iglesias to his left, plants and throws. And Dupont gets out of the inning unscathed. David Ortiz will lead it off for the Sox, who trail 1-0.
Leonard Skinner, a true American rock band best known for their southern hard rock classics Sweet Home Alabama and Freebird, play the MGM Grand Theater at Foxwoods Resort Casino on Sunday, July 28th. For tickets, visit foxwoods.com. Foxwoods Resort Casino is the official partner of the Boston Red Sox.
Now back at Fenway, where the Blue Jays have a 1-0 advantage. They threatened but did not score in the top half of the inning, and Big Papi David Ortiz leads it off in the bottom of the second. Got a nice breeze up there in the right field roof deck here at Fenway. Here's strike one to Ortiz. Ortiz, Napoli, and Nava expected here in the second inning. 318, 16 homers, 57 runs batted in. Into the shift go the Jays on the right side. 0-2 pitch from Rogers. And a foul off to the left. A lot on the plate with an 0-2 pitch, but David can't make him pay.
And that shift has Mysurus Turris in short right field. They've moved DeRosa from third base into that second base position. And Jose Reyes stays home at shortstop.
Ortiz grounds one left side. Reyes, the guy on the left side. His throw is in time to get Ortiz for the first out of the inning as we check back in with Jenny Dell.
Well, Don, it was another tough one from Andrew Bailey last night. He allowed another home run, making that 7 in his last 5 appearances. But he said he is frustrated. He just still needs to maintain that confidence. Someone that is picking it up, Koji Uehara, getting the 3rd save in as many nights. And today's Geico quote of the day comes from Andrew Bailey on the job that Koji Uehara has done. He said he's definitely been our guy down there all year. That has been that rock you can call on anytime. What he's done the last 3 nights is fantastic. It's definitely fun to watch. It's like a video game to him. Don?
All right, Jay, thank you very much. Well, it's been very tough for Bailey, who really, Jerry, the first two hitters looked very good, and then all of a sudden gives up the home run.
I was talking with John Farrell about Bailey this morning, and he agrees with you, Don. He said, he really looked much better against those first two hitters. His velocity was better. He had life on his fastball. And he said, don't be surprised if we get into a save situation today if Bailey doesn't close this game out.
2-0 pitch is going to just miss.
Uehara, of course, has been used 3 days in a row.
Unavailable today. See the numbers for Napoli. Fifth member of the Red Sox to face Rogers today, and that's a strike. 3-1. Now on the Uehara side, that's about as good as it gets.
Yeah, all strikes. I mean, nothing but strikes. Fastball splitters.
Koji Uehara from last night in his third save in 3 days.
And he did it in 3 days on a very minimal amount of pitches, too. Throwing all strikes, getting quick outs. But I think asking him for a fourth day in a row would be a little too much.
Swinging a foul tip, glances off Aaron Sebia. Six-game hitting streak for Napoli, 8 for his last 24. And a swing and a miss. Was chasing after that pitch, down and away, and it's the second strikeout for Rogers. 2 down.
A cut fastball. It looks like here a slider from Rogers away from Napoli to pick up his second strikeout. Got a Pedroia on a breaking ball, and that time the cut fastball for the strikeout for Rogers.
Well, Daniel Nava hitting at 285. 10 homers and 49 runs batted in. This one fouled off to the left out of play up into the top deck. Again off to the left, and Nava battling here down 0-2.
Good velocity on the fastball from Rogers so far. 96 on that last one to Daniel Nava.
This one has him moving backward as he comes inside. 1-2. Ismail Rogers making his 6th start of the year. Again, his 29th appearance. He's been operating primarily out of the bullpen for John Gibbons. His 30th pitch is just going to miss, and it's 2-2. Nava so far 3 for 7 in the series against the Blue Jays. Comes in running a 4-game hitting streak. 7 for his last 15. Full count, 3-2. Well, John Gibbons' team was red hot coming into Fenway Park. They dropped the first 2 games of the series. That's ball 4, and a good bat for Nava. He got down early in the at-bat. 0-2, ends up working a 2-out walk. Red Sox have their first base runner of the day. Well, Dunkin' Donuts is your stop for summer refreshment. Dunkin' Donuts Cooladas are icy cool drinks, the perfect way to chill out and cool down during these hot summer days. So hurry into Dunkin' and grab a Coolada today. America runs on Dunkin'. 2 down here in the second inning as Nava is at first base, and here's Jared Saltalamacchia. He is 2 for 7 so far in the series. As he takes strike one. 3 for 15 on the homestand for Saltalamacchia, and he's been in there every day games after night games, and playing a lot right now.
You wonder if he might get a day off tomorrow. They'll get Burley going in the game tomorrow. Maybe Lavanway will get a start.
Pitch down and in for strike 2.
And that would give Saltalamacchia 2 days off because the Red Sox have an off day on Monday.
It would seem to make sense. And Lavarnway has not had really the opportunity to play very much since being called up. He's made only 2 starts behind the plate since being recalled from Pawtucket. Third major league stint of the year for Lavarnway. 0-2 pitch. And a swing and a miss. Saltalamacchia strikes out to end the inning. We'll talk Pan Mass Challenge with Billy Starr when we come back. The third inning, the top of the Blue Jays order, Jose Reyes, Jose Bautista, and Edwin Encarnacion. Now, usually we have Dennis Leary along with Lenny Clark, but we're mixing it up a little bit here, I think, Jerry, today.
Yes, we certainly are.
Billy Starr joins us from the Pan Mass Challenge, and, of course, Lenny Clark is back in the house. Lenny, good to see you. You look terrific.
I am only here to help out Billy, who's a force of nature. This man is unbelievable. He's raised $375 million for Pan Mass Challenge since 1980.
That's
and
incredible.
what's your goal this year?
$38 million.
$38 million he wants to raise. Now look at that. You're not going to raise it that way. I want to point out, every dollar raised by the riders who ride in the Pan Mass Challenge goes into research at the Dana-Farber Hospital. Every penny. Isn't that something?
Yeah, it's a great thing. Certainly has grown and grown throughout the years, hasn't it, Billy?
Thank you, Jerry. It has, and this year, believe it or not, we're on record pace, record goal, record ridership, and once more, Boston and Greater New England steps up for the Dana-Farber and the Jimmy Fund.
As a pop fly, don't worry about that. Listen, while he gets that ball, I want to point out, yes, thank you so much. Yes, Pan Mass, great fans. You can still register to ride. It's August 3rd and 4th. There are spots still available, and we really want to go over the top. He has set a goal of $38 million. That's an amazing goal. I want 39. I want to go one more than Billy Starr. I want to see $39 million raised this year.
We're capable of it.
I know you are. And I am not going to be riding. I know you're going to ask that.
That's my next question, Len.
Am I going to? No, I can't ride this year, but I am a virtual rider, which means I've sent in money, and virtually I'll be riding along. And can I follow that on the computer?
I think it's fair to say Lenny actually is a bike rider. Lenny's going to be opening up our opening ceremonies in Sturbridge and then be part of the show. He's actually going to introduce me. I hope I make it through that introduction. But, you know, we're going off camera for that. But at the same time, Lenny does ride a bike. We've gotten to know each other the last few years, and we thought one Boston institution or another.
Lenny, do this. Go.
All right. Okay, this is thrown out at first. That's all you need to know.
That's it.
Okay. And that's we got one more out.
2 outs.
Right.
2 outs, one more to go.
But I think the point was the great brands we've got involved. You got the Red Sox, the Jimmy Fund, the Dana-Farber, the PMC, Lenny Clark, Remy Orsillo. It's, we represent the community very well, and we're going to raise a ton of money.
This, and Billy, you won't say this, but I will. You have raised more money than any charitable event in history. $375 million. And I tell you what, if you keep up this pace, you will single-handedly, with all the money you raise, wipe out cancer as we know it. And then all those people can get off those bikes and do something else for a couple of days.
That would be a nice day. Thank you, Lenny. Very nice as always.
You're welcome. Because my ass kills me when I ride. I got to be honest. I'm going to be honest. I do it, and I'll do it. Next year, I'll ride the whole thing. But I got to tell you, just something about those little bikes creeping up in there. I'm just not made for it. You know what I'm saying?
Who is, really?
Well, Billy's not a problem. How about you? How about you, Jerry? How's your butt when you're out riding?
I have the same problem.
Yeah. So, it's great to have you back. Yeah, I noticed a couple more restaurants. You're opening more restaurants than Starbucks now. I was in a Jerry Remy's restaurant, and they opened up another one inside the Jerry Remy's restaurant. Fantastic. Food's great. People are great. And it's a Remy's. Okay.
This line is short.
Holy crap. It's a short inning, but I think we got it all in.
Listen, if you haven't registered, register for the Pan Mass Challenge. Become a virtual rider. If you don't want to do that, you can send donations. Every dime raised goes into the research. Help us wipe out cancer. And please help this guy. He's a force of nature.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
All right.
Iglesias leading it off here for the Sox, and he takes strike one. Jerry, Lenny Clark does more for charity in this area than anybody else I know.
He really does. He's always busy with something, raising money for some foundation, and of course a big part of the Pan Mass Challenge. How much that's grown, it's incredible. great ceremony here prior to the ball game as some of the riders were riding around the warning track.
Iglesias grounds one foul. Outside of third base.
You hate to see Lenny so shy in front of a microphone, though.
Yeah, he gets very nervous.
He does.
Yeah. Inside, and Iglesias almost getting hit. Evens the count at 2-2. So far, only one base runner for the Red Sox for the first 2 innings, and it was a walk by Nava. This one almost gets Iglesias. Now a ground ball left side. Reyes on the backhand. 1 down to the inning. We'll stay with us after the game for WB Mason Extra Innings Live. We'll break down all the game action as well as go into the clubhouse for player reaction and John Farrell's press conference. WB Mason Extra Innings Live. You can't go wrong when you buy right. WB Mason. Well, here is Jonathan Diaz to make his major league debut, his first at bat in the majors. 8 seasons in the minors this year. The Paw Sox sitting at 242, 2 homers and 21 runs batted in. Let's swing at the first pitch and pop it up. Foul off first is Adam Lind. Puts it away for out number 2. Well, right now, Ace Ticket has special savings on all Red Sox games. Visit Ace Ticket for great seats at the lowest prices. Ace Ticket also has your seats for all the summer's hottest concerts. Visit Ace Ticket or call 1-800-MY-SEATS. Two outs in the third inning, and here is Jacoby Ellsbury, grounded out to shortstop in the first inning. Ellsbury coming in with a 9-game hitting streak, hitting at .410 during the 9-game hitting streak. And sharply hit just outside the bag at first.
Jacoby gets out in front of a breaking ball right there. Hits it very hard, but just to the right of that first base bag. Takes another look down in that direction.
That's in there for strike 2. Well, first time through, Rogers very effective against the Red Sox. Only the 1 walk, retiring everybody else that he has faced in this game. First career start for him against the Red Sox. And a grounder up the middle. Ranging is his Turris. Off balance throw that Lynn can't hold on to. In and out of the glove. Came in on a hop, and Lynn could not hold on to it. Ellsbury will reach.
And there's always extra pressure on an infielder when you know you have a speed guy like Ellsbury going down the line. Now, pretty good range shown here by his Turris going to his right, but he knows he has to rush the throw, and Lynn cannot come out with it on a bounce.
Ruled a base hit. Now a 10-game hitting streak for Ellsbury. And he's hit at .415 during the 10-gamer.
If Jacoby makes a second baseman move 3, 4, 5 steps to his right, a lot of times, most of the time, he's going to beat that out.
So first hit of the game for the Red Sox. 2-out runner at first, and here is Shane Victorino.
See if Ellsbury tries to go here with 2 outs, try to get in scoring position for Victorino. 32 steals for Jacoby.
And there for strike 1-1.
Now Rogers is not giving a lot to work with over there. He's pretty quick to home plate.
Outside for ball 2, 2-1. Blue Jays got a run in the first inning off Felix Dubron. A 2-out single by Adam Lind. Scored Edwin Encarnacion for the only run so far this contest. Red Sox trying to grab a run here with 2 outs in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Three and one.
And by trying to be quick to home plate, maybe threw Rogers off his game a little bit, falling behind 3 balls and 1 strike.
Well, the first Ellsbury is just starting to gain his lead, had to get back quickly. In there for strike 2. Right back to the fastball. Picked up the bottom of the strike zone. Ellsbury takes off on the 3-2, and it's nubbed back to the mound. Rogers to first for the out that ends the inning, and that goes by the boards quickly. We are through 3. Blue Jays have a 1-0 lead. NESN's coverage of Red Sox baseball is brought to you in part by Eastern Bank. You always put others first. Wouldn't it be nice if your bank did the same thing? With products that make life easier and a commitment to helping those in need, here you're first, Eastern Bank. Doesn't get much better than this. A beautiful day in the back bay of Boston with the Blue Jays on top 1-0, and it's into the 4th inning. 4, 5, and 6 for the Jays. Dubron's curveball does not curve. Adam Lind leading it off at an RBI single in the first inning, and is responsible for the game's only run as he gets his second look at Felix Dubron.
That base hit that Lynn got back in the first inning to drive in a run. That's the first hit he's had against Dubron. He's 1 for 7 against him.
Back off Dubron. It kicks out to short. Iglesias' throw is going to be not in time. Close play at first base, but apparently Lynn beats it out.
Yeah, very nice instincts by Iglesias to be able to change directions and get back to try to make a play on that. Made it close at first base, but Lynn's going to beat it out. You see Iglesias starting off to his left, has to go back to his right. The off-balance throw, but not quite in time to get Adam Lynn, who gets his second hit of the day. Nice shot from the blimp.
So Lynn aboard with his second hit of the game. He's got 2 of the 3 hits the Blue Jays have today. And here is Mark DeRosa. He was a strikeout victim in the first inning. That's in there for a strike. 1-1. Mark DeRosa, well traveled over the years, a veteran. He is 38 years of age. Last year with the Nationals. As this pitch will miss outside. Broke into the big leagues in '98 with Atlanta. Time with Texas, the Cubs, the Indians, the Cardinals, the Giants. And as I mentioned last year with the Nationals, now a member of the Blue Jays for the first time. 2-2. DeRosa fights this off on the ground softly to Pedroia. He's going to go to second, get the lead runner. Back to first for a double play. That did not appear at first look like the Red Sox going to be able to turn that, but Iglesias gets it and gets rid of it in a hurry.
I'm with you on that, Don. The way the ball was hit on contact, it didn't seem like it was going to be hard enough to be able to make a double play. Pedroia's going to go well to his left. A quick pivot right there and a quicker pivot by Iglesias at shortstop. Strong throwing arm to get that out at first base. Very nice double play turned over there by Pedroia and Iglesias.
So 2 down in the inning. Rajay Davis, who doubled to lead off the second inning, got to third as he stole third, but Dubron really bared down and got out of the inning without giving up a run. Able to strike out Rasmus and Aaron Sebia with Davis at third base and got his Turris to ground out of it and got out of the inning unscathed. One thing that has improved with Dubron over the course of this season has been the pace. It was very, very deliberate earlier in the year. Now a better pace for him, at least today. The 2-1 pitch, a miss down low. It just seems like things go better when he moves quicker.
Has a tendency with men on base to slow up quite a bit, but you're right, Don. Today he's getting the ball, getting back on that rubber and letting it loose.
And there for strike 2, full count. Tried to hold up. Did he go? No, he did not, says Tim Welke. And it's ball 4 to Rajay Davis. The Red Sox third base prospect Garen Caccini batting .349 with high A Salem and double A Portland this season is among 5 players vying for the final Team USA roster spot for the MLB All-Stars Futures Game on July 14th. Fans can vote for Garen at MILB.com through tomorrow. Caccini also has a .467 on base percentage, go along with 21 doubles and 35 RBIs on the season. He's looking to join Xander Bogaerts and Anthony Renato, who have already been named to the World Team. Once again, to vote, visit MILB.com. So used to saying MLB. It's MILB.com.
I understand.
You get it?
I get it.
MILB.
MILB.
And vote for Garen Caccini. Throw to first and back to the bag is Davis. Davis already with one theft on the day, 17 out of 18 on the season. No closer that time, and Davis diving back to the outfield side.
Now that time about maxed out on his lead as he had to dive back head first on that pickoff attempt by Dubron.
This one fouled back. Just watching Rajai Davis. Area coverage provided by DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you got to get DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV. Jerry, would you mark the spot where your largest lead was to know where you were?
You know, it kind of depended on the pitcher, Don. You know, certain guys you get a little bit more off of. Other guys you had to be a little bit closer. But you tried to get to a certain spot consistently. And that's the spot where you could cross over and dive where you knew you could get back in time.
And he's taken off here, kind of a delayed steal, and he's going to be out. Just took off. That pitch.
Not a good play.
And he runs himself into the third out of the inning. 3.5 done. 1-0 Blue Jays. Eastern Bank. You put your family first, your job first, even your team first. Isn't it time someone put you first? Eastern Bank does just that with products like Eastern Free Checking. Here, you're first. Eastern Bank. Now back at Fenway Park, and a bad base running move there, as it turns out, for the Blue Jays. And for Rajai Davis, who ends the inning effectively in a delayed steal.
Well, you know what's interesting about it, Don, is Rajai Davis did everything right. You'll watch 3 steps. You'll count them. 1, 2, 3. When the ball gets by the hitter, that's when he goes. You hope to catch the second baseman and shortstop with their head down, and also catch the catcher taking a little nap. But the problem is, the reason I call it a bad play is because you're expecting guys like Rajai Davis to steal bases, so everybody's on high alert. Usually it's the guys that don't have the great base stealing ability that try the delay steal. Fundamentally, did he do everything right? Yes. Was it a good play? I don't think so for a guy that can steal the way he can.
You think back of former Red Sox players who do it from time to time. Brian Daubach comes to mind. Jason Varitek. This is in the air to left. Does it have enough? No. Up off the wall. It comes back for Pedroia. He's headed to second. And he'll get there standing with a double. And a shot for a home run, but it ends up high on the wall.
6-game hitting streak now for Pedroia as that ball was rising as it hit that left field wall. He gets a fastball down and in and hooks it right down the line. Missed a home run by about 7 feet. Maybe 6.5.
Well, he's got a 6-game hitting streak now at .565 and a good start for the Red Sox here in the bottom of the 4th inning. There's David Ortiz. Bounced out to short first time up. Outfield deep and straight away on Big Papi. They do not shift on him in the infield. Though Meiser's Turris, the second baseman, ducks back a stride or two on the outfield grass. On the short lawn and right. That is ball 1. That is just the second hit given up by Ishmael Rogers in his outing today. First one an infield hit for Ellsbury in the 3rd inning. 2-0.
Big Papi's got one thing on his mind right here, looking for a fastball middle in.
Down and in, 3-0.
He got it in, but it was too low. And the light could not be greener for Ortiz on this 3-0 count.
And a check swing grounder to third base. No advance for the base runner. Ortiz is out, number 1. It's time for a Fenway fan story in Jenny Dell.
Well, Don, I'm lucky enough to be in the stands here with Lisa Scherber, Director of Patient and Family Programs with the Jimmy Fund. You're here with the Jimmy Fund Group. Tell us about the day.
We have had an amazing day here at Fenway Park with our Red Sox. We got here early at 10 a.m. We took an absolutely spectacular tour of the park. We had a special tour inside the Green Monster. The kids got to write their names on the wall of the Green Monster. They're just permanently there within this park, which was just a beautiful thing to see. We were on the field, which was an amazing thing to see. Wheelchairs pushed on this field and kids walking on it, and it was important to sort of be here inside our own park.
And it's now the 60th year that the Red Sox and the Jimmy Fund have been partnered up. How special is that partnership?
The 60 years between the Red Sox and the Jimmy Fund, it's hard to describe what this is, what this relationship means to our kids and to our families, but it's something that it exists nowhere else, and we are so grateful for this relationship and that our kids get to grow up and go through this tough diagnosis of cancer and know that they have the Red Sox behind them.
And something, Tara Daniels here with us as well. Now, something that I also found interesting that I think the fans will at home is the fact that you're coming here with a group, but you don't necessarily know everyone is here, but you're able to relate to them. How important is that as a patient to be with people that are going through what you're going through?
It's absolutely the most important thing ever, because then they can kind of, they understand what you're going through and they understand how hard certain things are. And you can say, hey, that's what happened to me too. And, it's better because you have someone that can sit back and, they understand. You don't have to explain things if you don't want to.
Well, we're so happy to have you all here. And, of course, the support of the Jimmy Fund is so important to the Red Sox. So thank you for being our fans of the game, and we'll be seeing you very soon. Back to you guys.
All right, Jane, thank you very much. And thank you to Lisa Scherber as well. They do such a wonderful job at the Dana-Farber Center and the Jimmy Fund. And generally, they take the kids on the road to a great many places during the season. We see them in spring training every year, but a chance to come right here in their own backyard to Fenway Park. So great to have them with us today. 2 down here in the inning. Pedroia at second base and Daniel Nava the batter. As Mike Napoli struck out looking, second time that he has gone down by way of the K today.
It looked like a cut fastball to Napoli on the inside part of the plate, kind of freezing him a little bit. Thought the ball was going to be inside, but that little cut at the end picks up the corner.
This is back to Rogers off the third base side of the hill and takes care of that. Works his way around a leadoff double by Pedroia. We're through 4. It's 1-0 Toronto. Looking for a star cleanup hitter when it comes to spills or messes, WB Mason has a clutch lineup of janitorial products that will mop up the worst of your cleaning problems. And WB Mason delivers same day, so your worst messes will be yesterday's news. 1-0. Blue Jays on top. Well pitched ball game as we head into the 5th inning on a beautiful day from Fenway Park. Wherever you may be here today at Fenway Park. We're across New England as the Red Sox and Jays play game 3 in this 4-game weekend series. Gonna be Rasmus leads it off for the Jays and takes ball 1. He was a strikeout victim in the 2nd inning. 3 strikeouts today for the Red Sox left-hander Felix Dubron. And on the hands, it just kind of flipped out to left field for a base hit for Rasmus. 4th hit for the Blue Jays of the day.
Now, Rasmus has always had very good success against Dubron. 5 for 13 coming into the game with a home run. He did strike him out on a changeup back in the 1st inning. This time, a fastball was supposed to be away. It stays out over the plate, and Rasmus to the opposite field for the base hit.
He's got a .400 average against Felix Dubron. And a base hit here to begin the 5th inning. There's J.P. Arancibia. Arancibia ranking 3rd all time for the Blue Jays in home runs by a catcher already. He's got 57 in 284 games. Two home runs shy of Darren Fletcher, ranked 2nd on that list with 59 home runs in 516 games. His first in home runs are among major league catchers right now with 15 on the year. That's 8th in the order. And a swing and a miss, 2-1.
A little over anxious there. 2 balls, no strikes. Expecting a fastball, got the fastball, but it was not nearly close to the strike zone.
Little number foul. Saltalamacchia will run it down. 2-2. Now he's hit it just 143 on the road away from the Rogers Center, compared to 296 at the Rogers Center. Swing and a miss. He strikes out. There's the 4th strikeout for Dubron, and the 2nd time And DeBron has struck out Arancibia.
Got him on a fastball back in the second inning. Gets him on a changeup here in the fifth inning. And really, at that time, Arancibia getting himself out, swinging at a couple of bad pitches in that at bat.
Well, here is Meiser's Turris with one out and Kobe Rasmus at first base. Well, last inning we were talking about the Jimmy Fund patients who are here at Fenway Park today. I want to get a chance for all of them to be seen today. They are all out. There they are. And a wonderful day at the ballpark. Couldn't ask for better weather today at Fenway. As they'd like better is maybe the score as the pitch is in there for strike one. This one down the right field line, foul. And it's Turris down 0-2. Long time Los Angeles Angel. Meiser's Turris, very versatile. Certainly a guy that moved around that Angels infield for Mike Scioscia. DeBron's 0-2 pitch. That is strike three. As Turris knew it. Takes with him the fifth strikeout for Felix Dubron. 2 down.
Well, pinpoint control there by Dubron, going to that fastball down outside part of the plate, low in the strike zone. Perfect pitch by Dubron. Amica Insurance is the proud sponsor of the Amica Pitch Zone.
2 down here in the fifth inning. Back to the top of the Jays order for Jose Reyes. 0 for 2 today. He's grounded out to third, fouled out to first. And a soft ground ball to Pedroia at second base. A little bobble, but he fires to first. Had plenty of time to recover and end the inning. So DeBron works his way around the leadoff hit. It's 1-0 Jays halfway through this one. One to nothing. Blue Jays have the lead over the Red Sox. Sox coming to bat here in the bottom of the fifth inning. And it is the bottom third of the Boston order. Jared Saltalamacchia, Jose Iglesias, and Jonathan Diaz to bat here in the inning. Ishmael Rogers back on the mound as Saltalamacchia gets his second look at Rogers today. He struck out swinging against him in the second inning. Into the shift go the Jays on the right side. They move Mark DeRosa, third baseman, to the right side of the infield, and Meister's Turris ducks back to short right. Swing and a miss, and the fastball by him that time. Rogers has done a nice job today. He's a fastball mixing his curve, his slider. He's got a cutter. He's been very good today. Four strikeouts in the game. He's only given up 2 hits through the first 4 innings. One was an infield hit. And this is lined through the shift in right center field. Saltalamacchia has got himself a base hit to begin things here in the bottom of the 5th inning.
They threw him a lot of breaking balls earlier in that at bat. Quickly got ahead of Saltalamacchia, tried to put him away on a breaking ball, but this time Saltalamacchia with a line drive base hit. So for the 2nd inning in a row, the leadoff man on for the Red Sox. Last inning, Pedroia with a double. This inning, Saltalamacchia with a single.
Lead runner on for Jose Iglesias. Grounded out to his counterpart at shortstop, and Jose Reyes in the 3rd inning. Iglesias has hit safely in 30 of 35 games with the Red Sox so far. He's reached base in 34 of 35 games. Today 0 for 1 as he bats here for the 2nd time. Home plate now encompassed by shadows at Fenway. They make their way out to the mound here, playing late day baseball at Fenway Park. Showing bunt. Misses for ball 2, 2-1.
See if the Red Sox try to get something going. Here's some offense going with a hit and run play. 2-1 count. It does become a possibility.
'70th pitch of the game for Rogers, but first to check on Saltalamacchia back to the bag. And a grounder foul, 2-2.
He's really trying to keep that ball inside against Iglesias, isn't he? Down and in. That time in on the hands, and Iglesias pulling the ball foul. Now that he's seen so many pitches inside, does he go to a breaking ball away? Looks like back to the fastball.
Ball 3, full count. That time at 94 miles an hour. Iglesias getting the signs from Brian Butterfield in the third base coach's box. There is Jonathan Diaz, just called up today, making his major league debut. Third base for the Red Sox. 3-2 pitch, and it's lined to third and dropped there, but it's on the transfer. DeRosa was not sure, so he fired to second in case it was not a catch, and he wasn't entirely sure apparently, but called it out by Bruce Dreckman. Said he dropped it on the transfer.
Yeah, I think it's a good call by Dreckman down at third base. A line shot. You can see he's clearly gotten his web right there. And then when he goes to make a throw, that's when it pops out. But he goes to second just in case.
So 1 down, no advance for Saltalamacchia. He was headed back to the bag. As DeRosa made the catch, here's Jonathan Diaz. Diaz swinging at the first pitch. Saw in the major leagues and fouled out to the first baseman Adam Lind in the third inning. He's appeared in 55 games with the Paw Sox this season. He's played at second base, shortstop, and third. Hitting at .242 for the Paw Sox. Signed with the Red Sox as a minor league free agent this past December. And after spending his career in the Blue Jays organization, and somebody that John Farrell was very familiar with, having had him in spring training and in the Blue Jays system the last couple of years. Stephen Drew listed as day-to-day hamstring problem that occurred last night on the double that he hit in the ball game. Swing and a miss, 1-2.
It's a small thing, you know, but you see Diaz looking down for signs. I mean, this guy has to learn on the fly. He got here very late today. He was not here by the time we left the clubhouse, and of course those are all things you've got to go over before the game starts.
This one gets away from Arancibia, and Saltalamacchia will move up. This one gets right through Arancibia.
Looks like a slider that time. Arancibia sliding to his right, but it goes through the 5-hole, and Saltalamacchia gets in scoring position at second base.
Wild pitch charge to Ismael Rogers. Saltalamacchia in scoring position with one out. Second time Red Sox have had a base runner to second. They've not yet had one reach third. Diaz wraps it foul. Eight career minor league seasons, all spent with the Toronto Blue Jays until this year. Lines one to center. Rasmus coming in. He dives and makes the catch. He'll fire back in as Saltalamacchia gets back. Kobe Rasmus with a diving catch in center for the second out.
A great play by Rasmus. Takes a base hit away from Diaz. Takes a run away from the Red Sox. Rasmus better coming in the ball and going back on it. Completely outstretched that time. Makes a beautiful play. That ball sinking very quickly on him, too.
So 2 down. We saw a couple of balls that he lost in the game last night. On both those occasions, he was going back. This time he's coming forward, makes a great catch. Here is Jacoby Ellsbury with 2 outs. And he will lift a fly ball to left field. Rajai Davis moving back, shy of the track, will pull it in and end the inning. Red Sox had the lead runner on for the second straight inning. It takes a great catch, but it's still 1-0 Blue Jays. Get set for every Red Sox game on NESN with Red Sox Game Day Live, presented by DCU. NESN's pregame coverage of the Sox begins an hour before every game. DCU, Digital Federal Credit Union, backing the DCU way. A beautiful day at Fenway Park. The Shadows have made their way across the home plate area, about halfway now. Out to the mound as Jose Bautista leads it off for the Jays, who enjoy a 1-0 advantage. Felix Dubron pitching into the 6th inning. Tough part of the order. Bautista, Encarnacion, and Lind. 2, 3, and 4 for Toronto. Very high for ball 2. Dubron in his last outing went 5 innings, but prior to that, his best outing maybe ever in a Red Sox uniform. 8 shutout innings in his longest outing ever. There's a high fly ball to deep left field. Nava's back looking up, and that is gone. Jose Bautista, who has been kept in check here against the Red Sox in the series, gets his 17th home run of the year and puts the Blue Jays on top 2-0.
Yeah, you can only keep Bautista in check for short periods of time as far as home runs go, and he gets a 2-0 pitch that time, a 2-0 fastball, and takes it over the monster seats in left field. You know, the amazing thing about it too is that ball carries a long way, and he didn't even get all of that.
Well, his 17th of the year, the 200th of his career. Encarnacion takes a strike. For Dubron, that is the 7th home run he has given up. And Bautista hits him, they go a long way.
Very strong guy. Back-to-back strong guys, Bautista, Encarnacion.
Encarnacion's got 23 on the year. That's it on the ground. Diaz was over towards the line at third base and throws him out for the first out of the inning. Well, introducing Buick's 2013 starting lineup. See how luxurious design, performance, and technology come together in one stylish package. And now is the perfect time to experience for yourself. See your local Buick dealer. One out here in the 6th inning, and it brings up Adam Lind. And the only player in the game to have a multi-hit performance today. As he singled to left in the 1st inning, had an infield hit to short in the 4th. Now take strike 1. Fouls it off himself, 0-2. The crowds have been great in this entire series against the Blue Jays, and really the homestand in its entirety. Offensive swing, fouls it back. Red Sox having won 4 in a row coming into today's game, and today Boston looking for their 50th win of the season, 49-33. This is grounded foul towards the end of the Red Sox dugout. And a terrific job done by John Farrell to begin this year. And Red Sox will be heading into a very tough trip coming up here on the West Coast swing, the first of 2 this year. Red Sox have not yet been to the West Coast.
Angels, Seattle for 4 games, and then Oakland to wrap it up before the All-Star break.
One-two pitch from Dubron. And it is on the outside corner for strike 3. Just picked up the outside corner.
Had Dubrock going down and away from Adam Lynn. Lynn had 2 hits in the game, but this time gets him on the fastball for the strikeout. The last whiff was brought to you by Head and Shoulders.
Two down in the inning and a swing and a miss for Mark DeRosa. He is struck out and grounded into a 4-6-3 double play. A tough day at the plate for the Blue Jays third baseman. Down 0-2. This time out, DeBron did not figure in the decision against the Tigers at Comerica Park. Red Sox were beaten by the Tigers 7-5. Gave up 3 runs, 2 earned. That was in 5 innings of work. Did throw 104 pitches though in those 5 innings. It's been far more economical today. He's up to 92 now. One-two pitch. That is outside. 2-2. Full count with 2 outs and the base is empty. Rajay Davis waiting on deck for the Blue Jays. And DeRosa flips a one-hopper out to Pedroia, sets and throws to end the inning. Leadoff home run by Bautista as Toronto on top 2-0. Victorino, Pedroia, and Ortiz coming up. Hospital, the Boston Red Sox invites you to join the walking club. Sign up today and get a cool wristband plus everything you need to start a walking program for better health. More at vidmc.org. Last half of the 6th inning at Fenway, the Blue Jays add to their total with a run on the home run by Jose Bautista to make it 2-0. And it is Shane Victorino leading it off. Takes the curveball for strike 1. Victorino has grounded out to first and back to the mound. Rogers pitching into the 6th inning, came in with a record of 3-3, doing most of his work this season out of the Jays bullpen, but making his 6th start of the year, and it's gone well. He's given up only 3 hits through the first 5 innings. Line off the glove, but landed into right field. He slowed it down, so Victorino's going to try for 2. Bautista has no play at second, and Victorino's got himself a double.
Well, maybe that's the kind of break the Red Sox need here this afternoon, because Rogers has been very good. That ball, a rocket off the bat by Victorino and deflects off the glove of Lynn. It looked like Lynn was going to make a play on this. And then once it gets by him, Victorino reads it beautifully. He sees how far that Bautista has to go for it and gets to second base with the double.
So this is the 3rd time in the last 3 innings the Red Sox have had the lead runner on. And in each instance, they have not been able to get that lead runner to third base even. And Victorino at second down to begin the inning. Here is Pedroia. And that breaking ball did not break. Comes inside.
Tried to spin one up the home plate, and all it did is spin. No break on it.
That's a strike, and it's 1-1. Pedroia doubled to begin the 4th inning, but did not advance from second base. So Rogers proceeded to get Ortiz, Napoli, and Nava in succession. This is up top for ball 2. Pedroia on a check swing, foul back to the screen. Ball was coming in on him, 2-2.
Yeah, that ball ran a lot right back in the hands of Dustin Pedroia. That's usually where you find a crack bat, but not the case that time.
Pedroia to right field and in for a base hit. Victorino being waved around. Bautista's throw from right is going to be close, and he holds on to the baseball for the out. Collision at the plate, and with nobody out, the first out is at the plate, and a great arm from Bautista.
What a throw by Bautista out in right field. Is going to be challenged by Brian Butterfield. With nobody out, the third base coach, you have speed at second, and you figure you're going to be able to score Victorino. But watch this throw. Right on the money, and a great job by Aaron Sebia right there to catch it, spin around, and hold on to the baseball. All the way in the air from Bautista.
So 1 down in the inning, and Pedroia at first base. David Ortiz, the batter. They stack it up on the right side into the shift. Ortiz up the middle and into center field, a base hit. Pedroia will stop at second. Rasmus up with it quickly. Ortiz aboard for the first time today with that base hit.
Yeah, they had the shift on, and Pedroia was looking ahead to see if anybody was covering third base. He wanted to take third, but the heads-up play by Rogers, the pitcher, to get over and cover the base.
Now Pete Walker headed to the mound here, the pitching coach for the Blue Jays, and Darren Oliver up in the pen.
Well, the rule of thumb is, nobody out, you got to make sure the guy can stand up at home plate. And, you know, you kind of expected that with Victorino at second base, but Bautista made one heck of a throw right there, all the way in the air. And the Red Sox get that first out at home plate. 3 hits in a row for Boston in this inning, but still don't have a run.
2 on, 1 away. Mike Napoli coming up. He's had a quiet day at the plate, striking out twice. And swinging in the second inning and looking in the fourth. Grounder foul. Here. He's not giving up a run yet. 5 1/3 deep. Two and 1. Longest outing of the year for Rogers is 7 innings. Did that at Texas against the Rangers. Last time out 6 innings against Tampa Bay. Swinging a foul and a pitch headed in. 2 and 2. Daniel Nava on deck, 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Ball 3, full count. Breeze has picked up and is blowing out right now.
Good time to lift one to straightaway center field.
Napoli strikes out for the 3rd time today. It's out number 2 of the 6th inning.
All 3 times he has got Napoli today. I've been on that same pitch, either cut fastball or a slider, and they've been away from Napoli.
So 2 down, and that takes us to Daniel Nava. His 3rd plate appearance of the day. Walked in the 2nd, grounded back to the mound in the 4th inning. He's swinging a miss, fastball by him at 94. Pedroia at second base. Ortiz at first base with 2 outs. Call the ball, 1-1. Darren Oliver ready in the pen should they choose to go in that direction. They stick with Rogers here with 2 outs in the 6th inning. He continues to battle. Here's 1-1 pitch. In the dirt, and Sebia locates it, able to keep it in front of him.
And a big block by Aaron Sebia right there. That keeps the potential tying run out of scoring position. Breaking ball down in the dirt. Well executed. Good fundamentals by Aaron Sebia. Deadens the ball, and the runners have to stay in place.
Now the chops it foul. Covidien, delivering innovative healthcare products across the globe, is a proud sponsor of the Red Sox Foundation. Swing and a miss, and Rogers gets himself out of another jam. Red Sox get 3 hits in the inning, but do not score. It's 2-0 Toronto. Vote for the Amica Pitcher of the Week at NESN.com/Amica and enter to win a $100 gift card from NESN to the Yawkey Way team store. And Felix Dubron pitching into the 7th inning with a Toronto lead of 2-0 into the inning. Red Sox are out hitting the Blue Jays 6-5 now in this game. But it's all about timely hitting, and the Red Sox haven't been able to get a timely hit. Ismael Rogers working his way out of a jam in the 6th inning. Pitch in there for a strike, and it's 1-1. There is action for Boston. Alex Wilson up in the bullpen. As Felix Dubron nearing 100 pitches, working here in the 7th inning. Rajai Davis lays off and takes ball 2. He's been on twice. He doubled in the 2nd inning and walked in the 4th inning. Davis stole a base back in the 2nd inning. Tried the delayed steal in the 4th inning and was caught trying to steal by Jared Saltalamacchia. Trying to get on again here to begin things in the 7th inning. Ace ticket brings you the pitching line for Felix Dubron. Working here in the 7th inning now. 5 hits, 2 runs. RBIs for Adam Lind and a home run by Bautista. Pitch 101 is going to miss. Framed by Saltalamacchia. DuBrant wanted it. Full count.
DuBrant trying to go inside after being away that whole sequence against Rajai Davis. Missing the inside corner.
Now Davis will take the walk, and he's on again. Second time he's walked. Third walk given up by DuBrant of the day.
And of course that creates problems again because of the speed of Rajai Davis.
So lead runner on here for the Jays, and it brings up Kobe Rasmus. He struck out and singled, 1 for 2 in the game. DuBrant wants a new baseball, and he gets one. In the air to right center field. Calling is Victorino, coming from right. He'll make the catch as back to first is Rajai Davis. Well, it's time now for today's Twisted but True fact of the game. Friday was a rough day for members of both the White Sox and Dodgers pitching staffs. In game 1 of the doubleheader, Chicago allowed 19 runs to the Indians, while the Dodgers allowed 16 to the Phillies. Both teams did cap their nights with scoreless frames, but with position players on the mound, Casper Wells tossed a scoreless ninth for Chicago, and Skip Schumacher did the same for L.A. Wells hit 93 in the gun, and Schumacher now has 2 scoreless innings this season. Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea is a refreshing hard iced tea. It tastes like real iced tea. Be a little twisted. You know the crazy thing about that, Jerry? That first game, that 19 runs scored against the White Sox, that was game 1 of a doubleheader.
Wow. That's a long day.
Yes, it was. 2-0 as the pitching change from Fenway Park. In comes Alex Wilson when we return. Alex DuBrant goes 6 1/3, still responsible for Rajai Davis at first base. And they check on Davis. Napoli thought they might have had him. That was pretty close.
Yeah, very close at first base. Rajai Davis, I think, took one of those jab steps towards second base and really had to hustle to get back. The crossover step and the dive. Quick feet shown by Wilson on that pickoff move.
He's headed in the wrong direction again. That time Wilson was just backing off, and taking a step towards second was Davis. Won't be long before he's on the move. Does not like to stay at first base for very long. Throw over, and again has to dive back. There he goes. Pitches in for a strike. Throws a good one, but he's safe. Saltalamacchia thought he might have had him, but a safe call at second base, and the second stolen base today for Davis.
You know, sometimes infielders get trapped in coming up in front of the bag, and that's what caused the safe call at second base. Look how far in front of the bag Iglesias is. If he's straddling that bag, the ball gets there quicker. Then you just apply the tag. But Iglesias crept up a little bit. That made for a longer sweep, and that's why Rajai Davis got that stolen base. It's something you, as a middle infielder, you constantly have to fight. You always find yourself creeping toward the throw when you really should be trying to straddle the bag.
And it's Sebia with a swing and a miss, and it's 0-2. This call to the bullpen is brought to you on Nessun by New England Ford dealers. And on the mound is Alex Wilson, his 22nd appearance, 1-1 with a 3.47 earned run average. 23 1/3 innings, 19 Ks. He has walked 12. And opponents hitting at 297. Ahead of JP Arancibia, 0-2. Arancibia lifts a fly ball down the right field line. Victorino coming in, still coming. And he'll go to the slide to make the catch. Fires to second. And safe there is Davis getting back to the bag. That's how Iglesias reached out like a first baseman.
Boy, Victorino had an awful lot of ground to cover to make that catch in. And that's also battling the sun right now here late in the afternoon at Fenway Park. He's probably wondering as he's coming in, where's my first baseman? Where's my second baseman?
Where are these guys? He's got it, though.
I'll make the sliding catch.
So 2 down. Davis still at second base. And Meiser's Turge, the batter, out of the number 9 spot today for the Jays. He takes strike one. Grounded out to short in the second. Struck out looking in the 5th. Total of 6 Ks today for Felix Dubron. He was still responsible for Davis at second base. Fouled off, 1-2. Yankees and Orioles will play tonight. Red Sox beginning the day with a 3.5 game lead over the Orioles, a 5.5 game lead over New York, 8.5 over these Jays. Outside 2-2. Rajai Davis a leadoff walk with steal second base. DeBron got Rasmus to fly out. Alex Wilson comes into the game, gets Arancibia to fly out. Now dealing with Meiser's Turris. chop towards third base. Jonathan Diaz has got it. His throw is in time, and it ends the inning. 7th inning stretch from Fenway with Saltalamacchia, Iglesias, and Diaz coming up. All right, Jameson, thanks very much. We'll get ready for that draft tomorrow in the NHL, and we'll get to you later on tonight. We look forward to NESN Sports Today, as it is Jared Saltalamacchia standing in. Saltalamacchia leading it off here against the new Blue Jays pitcher. After 6 innings from Ishmael Rogers, who did a very good job against Boston. Saltalamacchia drives it to left, and this is going to be off the wall. Davis plays the carom quickly and holds Salty to a single as he welcomes Darren Oliver into the game with a double or a single off the wall to left.
Second hit of the day for Saltalamacchia. Had a base hit hitting left-handed last time up. This time he goes off that left field wall, and so hard that he has to hold at first base with a single. Well played off the wall by Rajai Davis. Quickly gets it back in. Red Sox again have the leadoff man on.
Now for Darren Oliver into his second game of the series, 24th appearance of the year. 3-1 with a 2.78. 16 Ks, 8 walks, opponents hitting at .259. And a bunt bid. This one's by the mound as Iglesias going to try and reach. He will. Throw gets away, and heading to third base is Saltalamacchia. So another infield hit for Jose Iglesias as he bunts his way on.
That's a beautiful bunt by Iglesias. That's exactly where you want to put it. Push that ball towards second base. You have to have a good pitch to get it done with. It wasn't an ideal pitch because it was inside, but good bat work by Iglesias. Most of the time when you're trying to push a ball in that direction, you look for a ball that's up and away. Ball gets by the first baseman, Lynn, and Saltalamacchia to the third base.
So a single off the wall, a bunt single. There was an error charged to his Turris that gets Saltalamacchia to third base. A chance here for Jonathan Diaz in his major league debut today. He is fouled out to first and lined out to center. Great catch out at center field by Kobe Rasmus. Robbed him of his first major league hit back in the 5th inning. Diaz takes strike one. Diaz drops the bunt down, and from third base comes Saltalamacchia. The throw is in time, and he is out at the plate. So the first out of this inning is at home plate.
Well, that is really strange right there. I'll tell you, if a first and third situation, nobody out, and trying to squeeze play. Saltalamacchia out by quite a distance at home plate. See Saltalamacchia at third base. It is not a squeeze play. It is a safety squeeze, and Saltalamacchia thrown out. Now the difference is, on a suicide squeeze, Saltalamacchia would have been sprinting down that line. On a safety squeeze, he waits to see if the ball's on the ground. What I think the Red Sox were trying to do right there is just get men at second and third, going for a sacrifice with nobody out. Instead, Saltalamacchia decides to take off because he sees the ball on the ground, and he's out by quite a distance at home plate.
Back at Fenway Park, Blue Jays have a 2-0 advantage as Jacoby Ellsbury bats here with runners at first and second, one out. And the pitch from the new pitcher, Steve Delabar, is outside for ball one. Delabar becoming the third arm used today by John Gibbons. 34th appearance, 4-1 with a nifty 1.69 earned run average. 50 Ks to 22 walks. Takes over for Darren Oliver, responsible for the two men on. Outside again.
Yeah, you think back at that play, Don, and we had a great angle of it, and it was not a suicide squeeze by the Red Sox by any means, because Saltalamacchia was not breaking when that pitch was coming home. He went when the ball was bunted on the ground, and a nice play by Darren Oliver to get him. It'll be interesting after the game what John Farrell says, if it was just a sacrifice maybe that he put on. A sacrifice would have put men at second and third with the one out. Saltalamacchia, thinking that ball was in a position where he could score, tries to, but was thrown out at home plate. So no suicide squeeze, safety squeeze.
Ellsbury to left field. That's going to get in for a base hit. Iglesias will stop at third as Davis guns it back in, and the Red Sox have him loaded with one down.
Well, they have had their share of base runners the last couple of innings. 3 hits in a row in the 6th, could not score. 3 hits here in the 7th and have the bases loaded. Jacoby to the opposite field with a line drive base hit. Rajay Davis putting the hard charge on the ball. They have to hold Iglesias. When he did that, I'm going, what is he doing? I thought he was going to try to score.
Stay there.
Stay, please.
Well, the first out in the 6th inning was at the plate when Shane Victorino was gunned down. The first out of this, the 7th inning, was at the plate when Saltalamacchia was thrown out. Now Victorino will take ball 1. Look at his career numbers with the bases loaded. It's Iglesias at 3rd, Diaz at 2nd, and Ellsbury at 1st. 1 out in the 7th. Victorino lines it into center field, a base hit. Iglesias will score. Here comes Diaz. The throw is offline, and the game is tied. Shane Victorino drives in a pair, and it's 2-2.
Victorino's had a very good day. A double in the 6th inning to lead that inning off. Now with the bases loaded, the line drive to left center field. That is beautiful swinging right there. Going with the pitch. Not trying to pull it, taking it up the middle. And 2 runs come across for the Red Sox to tie the score. This has been a bizarre inning.
It is 2-2 now, and those runs are charged to Darren Oliver, who gives up 2 1/3 of an inning. Now runners at 1st and 2nd for Dustin Pedroia. Low and away into the backhand went Aaron Sebia. Pedroia today with 2 hits. After striking out in the 1st, he doubled in the 4th, singled in the 6th. Strike 1. Bluffed by Delabar with Izturz cheating in from 2nd. Action in the Boston pen as Shinichi Tozawa warming up for Boston. He was unavailable last night as it worked out. That's why Bailey was in the game when he was. Pedroia fouls one.
I'll tell you, I'm supposed to come up with 3 keys of the game. When this is over, I have...
What do you got so far?
I have no idea what the hell I'm going to say.
We got time. This time. This time. We don't have to do that yet. One-two to Pedroia. In the air down the right field line. Bautista towards the seats, and he won't have a play. And into canvas alley it goes. David Ortiz waiting on deck. Pedroia hits a fly ball to shallow right. Bautista's coming in. And he'll make the catch for the 2nd out of the inning. No advance for the base runners. No chance for Ellsbury to move over with as shallow as that was hit to right. Certainly not against the arm of Bautista. 2 down for David Ortiz. David today is grounded to short, grounded to third, and singled. A 1-for-3 day. Ortiz with a mighty swing and a miss for strike one. Ellsbury at second, Victorino at first base. Inside for ball one.
They do not go into the shift with Ortiz with the man in scoring position at second base.
Ortiz fouls it off to the left and is now down 1-2. For every Red Sox game that goes into extra innings or one where the Sox get a save, CVS Pharmacy will make a donation to Boston Children's Hospital towards their $25,000 donation this season. Ortiz batting with 2 outs. Mike Napoli waiting on deck, hoping to get a chance here in the 7th. The 1-2 pitch. In the dirt, kicks away, but Sebia keeps it in front of him. Ortiz fouls off another, stays alive.
Good job there by Ortiz. It looked like a splitter that time and just able to top it to give himself another chance. You can see that ball dipping in the strike zone. Just gets a piece of it to foul it off.
Swing and a miss, and Ortiz strikes out. But a big hit for Shane Victorino. The bases loaded, drives in 2 to tie the game. AAA, we visit Pedro Martinez as he hands out ice cream. Peter chats with Jose Iglesias. Jenny highlights the best plays from the month of June. And we check in at Travis Roy's 3rd annual Boston Wiffle Ball Challenge. Catch all that and more tomorrow at noon on the Ultimate Red Sox Show. Well, a 2-2 game back at Fenway. Wow, what is that?
Jacked. You got a tat, too.
Yes, how about that? I'm all tatted up.
I got no legs.
What's going on with your legs?
I don't know, nothing.
You have a very big torso and upper body, but you need to work on your legs. Well, Shinichi Tazawa into his 38th game of the year. 4-2 with a 2.50 earned run average, 40 strikeouts to 4 walks, and opponents hitting at 257. Jose Reyes leading it off now in a tie game. Here in the 8th inning as takes a pitch up high for ball 1. Alex Wilson retired the 2 batters that he faced coming into the game in relief of Felix Dubron, who's now off the hook. And as Dubron went 6 1/3, giving up 2 runs. And now not part of the decision. Outside for ball 2, 2-0. And last we saw Tazawa, he had retired the 3 batters he faced in the 8th inning on Thursday night against Toronto, but allowed 2 inherited runners to score and were charged to John Lester. Leads the bullpen now, 38 appearances on the year. And it falls behind, 3-0. This now, Bautista waiting on deck. Then we'll see Encarnacion. Tough part of this Jays order. Reyes taken all the way, and he takes strike 1. Reyes lines it to left field, and that's going to get in for a base hit to begin the 8th. So a single for Reyes to begin the inning. This game summary is brought to you by Xfinity from Comcast. Ismael Rogers able to keep the Red Sox off the board in his 6 innings of work. Jose Bautista with his 17th home run of the season. That was off Dubron, who went 6 1/3 and gave up 2 runs. Shane Victorino with the bases loaded, able to get a base hit and drive in 2 to tie the game. Iglesias 1 for 3 with a single and a run scored today. Runner at first, nobody out in the 8th, and here is Bautista. Strike over the outside corner.
A great starting pitching in this game, obviously by Rogers of Toronto, but also Felix Dubron of the Red Sox. He pitched very well this afternoon for Boston.
In the dirt gathered by Saltalamacchia. No advance at first for Reyes. Two and 1 now to Bautista. Two runs on 10 hits, no errors for Boston. 2 runs, 5 hits, and an error for the Blue Jays. Bautista now, and on deck is Edwin Encarnacion. Runner goes, and Bautista swings, and it's a high fly ball to deep left center field. Looking up, and that ball is gone. A 2-run home run for Bautista. His second home run of the game, his 18th of the year. And the Blue Jays take a 4-2 lead.
Bautista having himself quite a day. The 2 home runs, 3 runs batted in. A terrific throw from right field earlier in the ball game. Fastball belt high, and he just lifts.
So a 4-2 lead now for the Jays as they get their 2-run lead back, and Encarnacion swinging for the fences. 4th 2-home run game of the year for Bautista. There for strike 2. As Encarnacion jumping back out of the box. 0-2.
Yeah, Bautista had himself a fastball count, 2 balls, 1 strike. The runner was off at first base, and Reyes, and Bautista jumped all over that fastball for the home run.
In the air to right center field. Over goes Victorino, looking into the sun to make the catch out there for the first out of the inning. Encarnacion retired. Well, tonight at 10, join Jamison Coyle and Jamie Erdahl for NESN Sports Today. We'll have a complete wrap-up of Game 3 of the series between the Blue Jays and Red Sox, as well as get you caught up on the rest of the American League East, including the Yankees and Orioles at Camden Yards, and get you all the latest on the Bruins and NHL news leading up to tomorrow's draft. All this and much more on NESN Sports Today, tonight at 10, only on NESN. 1 out in the top of the 8th, and Adam Lynn, the batter, as he takes strike 1. Lynn's had a 2-hit day, both singles, and he has struck out, driven in a run. Fouled straight back. 0-2. And it's Emilio Bonifacio who's come out on deck here to bat for DeRosa. This one fouled down the left field line, out of play. That'll be the day for DeRosa, when this game had been 0 for 3. This is out to right center field, and this will get down. He'll head all the way back to the triangle area. Lind on his 3rd hit of the day is thinking 3, and he shouldn't have a problem getting there. He will get there standing well placed all the way back to the 420 marker and the triangle with a 1-out triple.
Yeah, that comes on an 0-2 count, 2 off Tazawa. Situation where you're trying to get a hitter to chase something that might not be a strike, but this way too good a pitch right there, 0-2, and rolling all the way to the 420 goes the line drive, and Lynn ends up at third base. So 2 singles, an RBI, and a triple on the day for Adam Lynn.
So Lind at third base and Emilio Bonifacio to pinch hit for Mark DeRosa. Bonifacio starting each of the first 2 games of this series, had the day off until now. So Lind at third base, one down, as the Blue Jays look to add to their lead. In on the grass at third is Diaz. Everybody else at the lip of the grass or further. That is about as in as you get. All the way around. Now, Lind does not have terrific speed by any means.
Well, you're in a position right now, even if a ball is chopped and not hit very hard, you still have to be able to come home and try to get the out. And I think that's the reason you're seeing everybody in so close. Down by 2 runs late in the ball game. Squeeze.
Bonifacio can't get it down. He fouls it off.
They almost gave that away because Lynn had really increased his lead down at third base. Watch him come down the line, then he's off with the pitch. As soon as that arm starts to come forward from the pitcher, that's when you take off on a suicide squeeze. And Bonifacio fouling it off. But his lead was as far down the line as Diaz was giving him down at third base.
In the dirt, and it's now 2-2. Bonifacio unable to get it down. Fouled it off instead, and now the count is 2-2.
And as when you're asked to squeeze on a suicide squeeze, you just got to get the ball on the ground. It doesn't matter if it's back to the pitcher, because you're almost never going to get that guy at home plate.
Chops it, and down with it is Napoli. He'll tag the bag. Nicely done. Well in on the grass at first base, and a chopper. Lind does not try to score and remains at third with 2 outs.
If they were playing contact on this, that would have been a run right there, but they would not, fortunately. And with that high jump and catch, Napoli able to tag first base. Runner remains at third base, and the Red Sox get the second out.
So 2 down. Lind at third base still. Is unable to get the job done on a couple of different fronts is Bonifacio. Rajay Davis, the batter's been on 3 times. A double and 2 walks on the afternoon. Davis takes ball 1. Ball in the dirt. Time blocked by Saltalamacchia. Bautista is homered twice in this game. Solo shot in the 6th, 2-run shot here in the 8th. There's a pop-up. Back comes Saltalamacchia, and he'll make the play. Had to battle Pedroia, sort of, to make that catch. As a fan wearing a Pedroia jersey almost took it away from him. Saltalamacchia will bat third when we come back. Back at Fenway Park, Blue Jays have a 4-2 lead. Thanks to a 2-run home run. Jose Bautista. Mike Napoli leads it off and hits a high fly ball foul. Changes for the Blue Jays. Meiser's Turris moves from second base to third. And into the game after pinch hitting is Emilio Bonifacio at second base. Steve Delabar back on the mound here for the Jays. Napoli with a swing and a foul tip. 95-mile-an-hour fastball, 0-2. Napoli has struck out 3 times today. Swing and a miss. Strikes out for a 4th time today. That fastball gets him.
Yeah, by design, too, because you could see Aaron Sebia. He put the fastball signal down. He put the glove up high. That's where he wanted it. A high fastball, something tempting, something Napoli would swing at.
Red Sox have action. Left-hander Craig Breslow warming in the pen. We've already seen Alex Wilson and Shinichi Tozawa out of the pen today. There is Nava, who is 0 for 2 today with a walk. As he takes strike 1. On fastballs from Delabar. And so far, a lot of strikes. Throwing 21 pitches, 15 for strikes. There's another 0-2. The final 2 outs of the 7th as the first out of the 8th.
Fastball up again.
Nava gets a piece and fouls it off. Well, aerial coverage provided by DirecTV. You call yourself a sports fan, you got to get DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV. Nava fouls off another. Action in the Jays pen. Neil Wagner up there, the right-hander. He's already pitched in this series. Nava thought about it, lays off, and it's ball 1. Saltalamacchia on deck. Red Sox batting in the home half of the 8th inning. Strike 3 call. Back-to-back strikeouts for Delabar. 2 down in the inning as we check in with Jenny Dell.
Well, Don, we asked fans what they think has been the biggest surprise in the AL East this season. Here are some of the best tweets brought to you by AT&T. Tiny Tim says nobody expected so many injuries to the Yankees, but they've been doing so well. PJ Wright said the biggest surprise would have to be how tight the standings are with the 5 teams. Last but not least, biggest surprise is how well the Sox are playing as a team with so many new faces. Jerry, what's your biggest surprise?
You know, those are all very good answers right there. The biggest surprise to me was the start of the Toronto Blue Jays and the start of the Boston Red Sox, to be quite honest with you.
2 down in the inning for Jared Saltalamacchia. And really, Jerry, I mean, you could have made a case that it might have been the other way around if you look at the way things have gone to begin spring training and what all the experts were predicting.
And the Yankees hanging in there with all the injuries they've had.
Well, good day today for Saltalamacchia. 2 hits, single to right, single to left. Red Sox are out hitting the Blue Jays 10-8, but trail 4-2. Saltalamacchia had a battle a fan here.
Yeah, now if Saltalamacchia would have dropped that ball, that would have been called fan interference, and it would have been an out anyway. because that fan clearly reached into the field of play and obstructed Saltalamacchia.
I said he was battling Pedroia because he's wearing a Pedroia shirt. 1-2 pitch is a swing and a miss, and Saltalamacchia strikes out. Delabar strikes out the side. We're headed for the 9th. 4-2 Toronto. Nesson's coverage of Red Sox baseball is brought to you in part by Southwest Airlines, the New England Subaru dealers, by Stowe, Vermont. Plan your vacation at GoStowe.com. Sullivan Tire. Toyota's a website for deals by Toyota.com. And by New Hampshire Liquor and Wine Outlets, where you'll find the best prices, selection, and convenience. 9th inning back at Fenway Park. 4-2. Blue Jays have the lead, as the Red Sox bring on their 4th pitcher of the day. Craig Breslow comes into the game for Boston. His 25th appearance of the year, 2-1 with a 2.66 earned run average. 23 2/3 innings, has 12 strikeouts to 7 walks. And opponent sitting at 230 against Breslow. Takes over for Tazawa, who is now on the hook. As Tazawa win an inning, giving up a total of 3 hits. A single, a 2-run home run, and then the triple by Adam Lynn. 2 runs. Didn't walk anybody, nor did he strike anybody out. Very unusual outing for Tazawa from what we have been used to this season. Kobe Rasmus leads it off and chops one out to second base. Pedroia's got it. 1 down in the 9th. Well, time now for a look at the road ahead, brought to you by Safeco Insurance. Tomorrow in the series finale, it will be a battle of 2 veterans when Mark Burley and Ryan Dempster take the hill. Both pitchers making their 17th starts of the season. Burley comes in at 4-5, while Dempster is coming off a win last time out, stands at 5-8. Our live coverage begins at 12:30 with Red Sox first pitch. And that could be the battery tomorrow, after Saltalamacchia has got so many games in a row, and Navarro's only started 2 games, and of course a day game again tomorrow, so it seems to make sense that they'll be working together tomorrow. 1-0 pitch in there for a strike. I'm sure John Farrell appreciates that I'm making out his lineup for him today. And Sebia is 0 for 3. He struck out twice and fly to right. They'll foul this one off to the right. 1-2.
I won't name the manager, but I actually did make out a lineup once for the Red Sox. We were in a terrible slump, and I walked by the office and says, "Here, come in and make a lineup." So I made up the lineup.
How'd you do?
Lost. That was years ago.
Ken Maka let me do it one time in Pawtucket, and we lost 14-2 to the Toledo Mudheads. This is grounded down the first baseline. Over is Napoli, and he can't catch it. Gets through him and into foul ground as Aaron Sebia will go to second base. So Napoli's been very sure-handed, cannot come up with that. And Aaron Sebia to second with one out.
That had a very strange spin on it, and it had trouble written all over it. And when it got to Napoli, it gets under the glove right here. He's going toward the line. And the ball, I don't know if it bounced over the glove or under it. Let's take another look. Over the top of it. And then he's going to track it down that right field line.
They have not yet ruled on it. Aaron Sebia at second base with Meiser as Turris standing in. Jays looking to add to their 2-run advantage here in the ninth. That is strike one. They're going to call it a single and an error. So Aaron Sebia getting credit for a base hit, but an error charged to Napoli on the play. As Turris fouls it off down the right field line. That's a tough one, because if he makes the play cleanly, then out would be Aaron Sebia.
I would think so at first base, yes. But then again, you take into consideration the way the ball bounced up over the glove, and that's a tough scoring decision.
Swing and a miss, and his Turris strikes out for the second out of the inning.
Change up that time from Breslow, and out in that front foot was is Turris for the strikeout.
Well, Neil Wagner continues to warm, and now the closer for the Blue Jays is up, Casey Janssen. Or he was. Reyes cranks this down the line at third, kicks off the boxes to Nava. Coming around from second is Aaron Sebia. He will score, and the Blue Jays add to their lead on top 5-2.
Reyes has become a very big part of this ball game. He had the base hit before Bautista hit the home run in the 8th inning, and now drives in a critical run here late in the ball game. A changeup again, not a bad pitch by Breslow, but right down the third base line for Reyes.
So 2 down, Reyes at first base, and be held on by Napoli. And Bautista gets another chance to bat today. He's already had a 2-home run afternoon into the early evening. As he takes strike one. After walking and grounding out, in a solo home run in the 6th inning, and a 2-run shot in the 8th. Looking ahead to the bottom of the 9th inning, Red Sox have the 8, 9, and 1 hitters scheduled. Bautista chops one foul and is down 1-2. Now look at both home runs today for Bautista. That was home run number 17, a solo shot right out of Fenway. Next one by the light stanchion, a 2-run shot. And in between, then a great throw from right field, throwing out Shane Victorino at the plate. So doing a little bit of everything today is Jose Bautista. Two is on the ground at third, and it gets through Diaz quickly down to the left field corner. Reyes heading for third, and he's going to be waved around. Iglesias with a throw to the plate. It will be off the mark. Throw to third will be in time. They got him, but another run is in. And the Blue Jays take a 6-2 lead to the bottom of the ninth inning. Hess and Hess Express are proud sponsors of the Red Sox, and during the 2013 season, they'll once again donate $500 to the pediatric trauma program at Boston Children's Hospital for every home run hit by the Sox. Hess and Hess Express committed to helping the cause. Now the Blue Jays tack on 2 big runs in the top half of the ninth inning, and they take a 6-2 lead to the bottom of the ninth. Neil Wagner, the new pitcher. Aaron Seaby out to talk with him briefly. 14th appearance, 1-2. The 2.13 earned run average. 8 strikeouts to 4 walks. Opponent sitting at 205 against Wagner. As Iglesias takes strike 1 over the outside corner. A pretty good job by Steve Delabar, who struck out the last 4 Red Sox he faced before departing, as he went an inning in 2/3. Iglesias hits one on the ground to short. Reyes for the first out of the ninth.
Well, you watch Reyes throw the baseball in this series, and he has got one heck of an arm from shortstop. Kind of a sidearm throw, but it gets over there in a hurry.
One pinch hitter here for the Red Sox. We had 1 out, and Mike Carp. That's for Jonathan Diaz, who made his major league debut today. He also incidentally picked up an error. He was charged with the last inning. The ball got through him off the bat of Bautista. Red Sox with 2 miscues on the day as Carp takes strike 1 over the inside corner. Some very good numbers for Carp. And the count 0-2, foul tip.
97 on that last fastball from Wagner.
In the dirt, ball 1, 1-2. Outside, 2-2. 29-year-old, born in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Originally a 21st round pick of the Cleveland Indians. Outside for ball 3. Yeah, Karp will take the walk with one down in the 9th inning. Vanessa brings you unmatched post-game coverage of the Red Sox right after the game with WB Mason Extra Innings Live. Tom Caron leads our breakdown of the highlights as well as player insight and reaction. WB Mason Extra Innings Live. You can't go wrong when you buy right. WB Mason. One out, Karp at first, and Jacoby Ellsbury the batter. He has had a 2-hit day, joining Shane Victorino and Jared Saltalamacchia. We've also had 2-hit days. Red Sox have 10 as a team. That is strike 1. Strike 2. On the ground to short, could be 2. Reyes to second for 1, on to first for 2. That's the ball game. Blue Jays were able to take game 3 of the series after the Red Sox took the first 2. And the Jays playing some long ball today in a 6-2 victory against Boston in game 3. Big day for Jose Bautista, who homers twice in the game as Toronto downs the Red Sox 6-2. Let's send it to Tom Caron.